Hi, everyone. It's your friendly neighborhood coach, Jason. Today, I'm talking about gaslighting. Gaslighting makes you doubt yourself, but you don't have to live like that. Today, I'm breaking down how to end gaslighting from others and even from yourself so you can finally trust your own reality again. Have you ever been made to feel like your memory is wrong, your emotions don't matter, or maybe my favorite, you're just too sensitive? That might not just be a misunderstanding. It might be gaslighting. Let's go. Today, I'm going to give you a simple definition of gaslighting, tell you how it plays out, not just in love, but at work and in our countries and the world in general. I'm also going to give you practical steps on how to spot it, both in others, but also in yourself. Most importantly, I'll share what you can do to stop it. Generally, before I talk about anything, I like to define it. So what is gaslighting? In simplest terms, gaslighting is when somebody else manipulates you into doubting your own reality. It's not just lying. It's lying that makes you second guess what you saw, heard, or felt. Sometimes it's intentional, other times not so much. At its core, it's about control, controlling the narrative. Because if you can't trust yourself, you're easier to control. Let's make this real and start at home. Imagine your partner says something hurtful and you bring it up later or point it out sometimes immediately. They respond with, I never said that, or you're imagining things. Over time, you might start to wonder, am I losing it? In the workplace, your boss takes credit for something that you know was your idea, and then they claim that you never made it up and that it was their idea. They tell you you're confused. And now, not only have you been robbed of the idea and the credit, your mental health has been called into question. And they may be trying to make you look incompetent. In politics, a leader denies something that has previously been said and recorded, maybe on TV, in the news, or there are multiple witnesses, and they hide what's really happened. They claim the opposite. They push alternative facts to make people doubt what they've seen before. Confusion becomes strategy. And if they do it repeatedly, you'll have people who heard four different stories of the same thing that happened in a very short space of time. Here are some examples of how you know what's happening. From others, they deny obvious facts. They flip blame either to you or someone who can't defend themselves. They make you feel like you're overreacting or even crazy. Here's a hard truth. We've probably gaslit somebody ourselves also, even if we didn't mean to. But good news, once you spot it, you can stop it. Let me explain how. Some examples from yourself. Have you ever dismissed someone's feelings? Maybe you said, you're too insensitive and you stop listening to what they're saying. Have you ever rewritten or edited slightly what happened just to avoid being wrong? Maybe you say something like, that's not what I meant, even though you know it is in fact what you said. Gaslighting isn't always intentional, but it is most often damaging. So what can you do? Let's start with you. If you're the one who's gaslighting, start with accountability. Simple apology is best. If you know you did something wrong, don't avoid being called out on being wrong. Accept it and apologize. Don't edit what you meant to say. Just accept that you did it and say that you're sorry. I know it might sound complicated, but try these words out. You're right and I was wrong. Oof. It hurts so much, especially if it's your partner. No, I'm just kidding. You should be able to do this with your partner. If you can't, you should work with a professional. There's something underneath there stopping you from being able to just apologize. I'm from a Caribbean background, and sometimes the apologies that we got from our parents early in life, my parents aren't like this anymore, was just they would tell you the food was ready, or they would tell you to come for dinner. That's how they apologized at certain stages of my life. We don't want to bring that into the next generation. Number two, validate the feelings of the person that you've done wrong. You don't have to agree with them about everything to validate their experience and how what you said or did made them feel. It's not about you intentionally making them feel the things that they felt. But if you did say something and they had the feelings that they had, your job is to say, I understand what you're saying now, and that was not my intention to make you feel that way. And if you did say something that has been brought up before, apologize because you should have known it was wrong. If someone is gaslighting you, stick to the facts and be specific. Don't argue reality endlessly. This is a really important point. Sometimes you keep explaining something to somebody, explaining what you meant to say, expanding on what you could have said or did. It's not going to help because what you're doing is you're building a negative attribution towards you. The person you're talking to is getting more and more frustrated, and they're not going to be able to help themselves but get frustrated with you. What you need to do in that point is say, hey, set a boundary. A boundary looks something like this. I'm not going to continue talking about this right now because I can see that you're frustrated. How about we take a break? You have to give them a time when you'll come back to talk to it. It's not reasonable to just say, we'll talk about it later. Say, let's come back and talk about it in half an hour. We can take a breath and then we can talk about it. When you come back, it's not time to tell your story again to convince the other person. The point is not to win the argument. The point is to be able to move forward. If it's a pattern, seek support. Gaslighting thrives when you're isolated. When there is no witness to somebody else gaslighting you, it very quickly turns into a they said, you said situation, and it can build up and become something that it's not. Also, if there's a pattern and it's intentional, that is a form of abuse. And you still need to seek help from a professional because you can't go on in a relationship where someone is intentionally gaslighting. Gaslighting makes people doubt their own truth, but you don't have to live that way. Start small, notice when it happens, call it out, and choose accountability and honesty instead. And if you're struggling with this in your relationship, in your workplace, or even in your own self-talk, this is exactly the kind of work that I do with people. Check below for my email so we can connect and you can start trusting yourself again. It's really important that we start building healthy relationships. That's it. Thanks. Have a great day. Take care.